As a huge part of their life.
Yes, I mean, I was surprised today in the morning when I wake up and I start looking at all the Facebook, Twitter of my friends, and everyone is so sad. And I was never like a big fan that about his albums, but he marked my life in so many ways. My first heartbreak, of course, was with Juan Gabriel, and I think everyone, any Mexican has the same feeling. Weddings. My wedding was with Juan Gabriel. When I cleaned the houses with Juan Gabriel. So suddenly I realized that this man marked my life in so many ways, in really happy moments like weddings, and very sad moments like heartbreakings or funerals. You sing his songs in funerals as well. So it marks the life of every Mexican, and I think that's why the reaction has been so huge. Nobody expected him to die so early. And it's just so sad to see that he's gone. It's like part of your life. He's gone with him because he marked you in so many levels.
So there was like a continuing soundtrack to every Mexican's life, whether they were an active fan or not.
Exactly. And I think also what it meant for Mexicans outside Mexico is like he was a Mexico that you wanted to show. A Mexico with passion, a Mexican of someone who had so many problems during his life. I mean, his childhood was amazing. If you read this story, and I knew his story, I mean, from before, at 40 years old, his mom couldn't take care of them anymore, so she ended up putting him in an orphanage in Juarez. So he grows up in Juarez, which is a town in the border of Mexico, which is really rough. So he grew up in an orphanage in Juarez. He has to sell tortillas to survive, and even at that time he was singing, and by pure miracle he arrives in the local radio, and then he arrives to one of the very well-known bars in there, Noa Noa. He has a song about the Noa Noa, and then he starts getting really well known. His private life always been very private for him, but he's been blackmailed several times during his career because of his sexuality, and he never openly say I'm gay, but he definitely kept that to himself, but he always was blackmailed. If there's been someone else in a traditional country like Mexico that had the same past, probably he wouldn't be that big, but his voice was bigger than that. And funny enough, it's part of the Mexican culture, and that's why everyone is tweeting, young, old, politicians, non-politicians, and people like me that surprisingly, I'm really sad about it. I mean, he's gone. He's like part of my childhood, and my Mexican identity is there.
And in terms of his music, he combines so many different traditional Mexican styles.
Something that it struck me, and everyone keep asking me, so why I cannot hear him in English? He never wanted to sing in English.
Really?
He said, I'm Mexican, 100% Mexican. And he highlighted the best music. And in Mexico, we have so much culture of music. And he will, have norteñas, which is the northern part of the music, which you dance like that. And then you have mariachis, and you have ballads, and you have, songs of romantic songs. So he, as you said, he was a prolific artist, and he not only write for himself, but for other artists. And he was a very generous man. Because of his childhood, he was always giving money to orphanage and to making people and kids to have a better life. And he never announced it to everyone, but we knew about it.
Lourdes, thank you very much, Lourdes Heredia.
Thank you.
And there are lots